Good evening. You're watching the news at 6 with me, Ishan Russell. The news at 6 is all about the day's biggest developing stories, and we'll be filling you in on them over the next half hour. But first, the headlines that we're tracking right now. Prime Minister Narendra Modi looks to turn China's pain into India's gain, advises top industrialists and CEOs to adopt risk and invest in the country's growth story. Markets rebound after falling to a 15-month low. Global rally helped Sensex recoup 400 points and regain the 25,000 mark. The rupee settled at 66 rupees and 55 paise to a dollar. After the Congress Working Committee extends her tenure as party president by 1 year, Sonia Gandhi targets Narendra Modi-led NDA government, calls his election promises empty talk. A day ahead of the scheduled DGMO talks, Pakistani NSA Sartaj Aziz says Indo-Pak dialogue only if Kashmir is on the agenda. And European borders near breaking point as countries remain divided on taking migrants. Tensions reported in Hungary and Serbia as police clash with refugees. Our top story this evening, Prime Minister Narendra Modi held a brainstorming session on the state of the economy at his residence today. Top CEOs, bankers, economists and union ministers attended the meet. The government and the industry leaders discussed ways to bolster the economy in the middle of a global economic slowdown.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi met India's top industrialists and CEOs to discuss the economic situation in the country. In the meeting, Modi asked the industry to take risks and make investments.
Some illustrations were given with regard to further steps to be taken in easing the doing of business in India, cost of labor and cost of capital, a further emphasis on stalled projects.
इसमें इंटरनेशनल इन्वेस्टमेंट की भी बात हुई और डोमेस्टिक इन्वेस्टमेंट की भी बात हुई और जो फोकस सबसे ज़्यादा डाला गया था वो इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर पे था क्योंकि इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर की कमी होने की वजह से हमारी कम्पिटिटिवनेस भी कम हो जाती है और जो मैंने पॉइंट रेस किया था जी कि वो तो हमारे को अपना इंटरेस्ट रेट थोड़ा कम करना चाहिए इससे हमारी डिमांड भी बढ़ेगी और इन्वेस्टमेंट भी बढ़ेगी.
In the meeting, the Prime Minister laid thrust on low-cost manufacturing, asking industry leaders to focus on job-creating sectors like MSMEs. With the International Monetary Fund recently saying that India's economy was a rare bright spot among emerging markets, Prime Minister Modi asked industrialists if China's pain could be turned into India's gain.
The thrust of the presentation itself was that for more than one reason, the impact of this on Indian economy itself would be far lesser, particularly because our own fundamentals are reasonably strong. The participants suggested was to take steps in the direction of further strengthening the Indian economy.
About China, yes, it was discussed. Whether how we should tackle it, whether it is an opportunity for us. But of course, the Pradhan Mantri said that somebody's pain should not be our gain. So we should look at it as an opportunity and of our own, and we should move forward in that.
Many of the participants also asked the RBI governor to ease monetary policy. This, they say, would help revive investment and growth. The meeting came at a time when there is turmoil in global markets caused by a slowing Chinese economy, devaluation of the yuan and concerns surrounding the prospect of a US rate hike. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
The Indian markets rebounded after falling to its lowest in 15 months on Tuesday on the back of a rally in global stock markets. Though the Sensex gained over 400 points to regain the 25,000 mark, while the Nifty rose by 129 points to settle at 7,688. The rupee also gained after slumping to a two-year low. The Indian currency strengthened by 27 paise to settle at 66.55 per dollar. Asian stocks also edged higher on Tuesday after a six-day losing streak. The Shanghai Composite Index gained nearly 3%, while Hong Kong's Hang Seng gained over 3% as well.
the markets are going through some, aura of pessimism, and the reason is simple, that world over emerging market stories are falling apart. Emerging markets have taken huge beating. Of course, India has its a unique place as far as emerging markets are concerned. It's more or less considered to be safe haven. But so far the disappointment on the local front is that our corporate earnings have not shown any sign of improvement.
Time for some political news now. And before the Election Commission announces the dates for the polls in Bihar, BJP ally Hindustani Awam Morcha Secular has stirred up trouble for the NDA. Its party chief, Jitan Ram Manjhi, has questions BJP's other ally, Lok Janshakti Party chief Ram Vilas Paswan's status itself as a Dalit leader. However, the BJP has ruled out any differences within the alliance.
After the Samajwadi split from the Janata Parivar, the other big alliance NDA seems to be in trouble in Bihar just ahead of the assembly polls. Two key BJP allies are now locked in a debate on who truly represents the Dalit community, a significant vote bank for any party in the polls. Jitan Ram Manjhi asserted himself as the true leader of the community, questioning LJP chief Ram Vilas Paswan's status.
आपको ऑनर के साथ हम कहना चाहते हैं, आप अंतर्राष्ट्रीय नेता बन जाइए, लेकिन जो कार्य पद्धति आपकी है कि बेटा और भाई से अलग नहीं हो रहे हैं, अपने पार्टी का जो स्वरूप है उसको जरा भाई और भतीजा और बेटा के परिधि से अलग कीजिए, हम आपको इसके लिए प्रशंसा करेंगे.
While LJP termed Manjhi's remark, BJP said there is no fissure in the alliance.
उनके आने से हमारे गठबंधन को बहुत मजबूती मिली है. मुझे नहीं पता कि उन्होंने किस परिप्रेक्ष्य में उन्होंने ये सारी बातें कही. मैं समझ नहीं पाया कि क्या वजह रही कि उन्होंने सारी बातें. मांझी जी के साथ हमारे व्यक्तिगत संबंध बहुत अच्छे हैं, हमारे राजनीतिक संबंध बहुत अच्छे हैं.
कोई मांझी जी और पासवान जी के बीच में लड़ाई नहीं है. अपनी अपनी सीट पर सबका दावा होता है. कुछ सीटों पर बीजेपी का दावा है, उसी सीट पर मांझी जी का भी दावा है, उसी सीट पे पासवान जी का दावा है, उसी सीट पे रालोसपा का दावा है. लेकिन हम जब मिलकर बैठेंगे तो सबको हल कर लेंगे.
The NDA allies are locked in a tussle over seat sharing for the upcoming Bihar assembly elections. While the BJP has demanded a lion's share, allies have also demanded more seats. There is also no consensus on any chief ministerial candidate either, with a number of names vying for the post. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Now on to the news from the Congress party, and Rahul Gandhi's proposed elevation to the post of Congress president has been deferred by at least 1 year. The highest decision-making body of the party, the Congress Working Committee, has approved a year's extension for Sonia Gandhi as party president and deferred the organisation elections, which were due later this year. The CWC also approved the proposal for 50% reservation for SC, ST, OBC and women in the party organisation.
Soon after getting a one-year extension as Congress president, Sonia Gandhi launched a scathing attack on Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his government. Terming most of his poll promises Hawabazi or empty talk, Gandhi said the Prime Minister has been reduced to unedifying flip-flops.
Turn on the land acquisition ordinance is evidence that the government is out of touch with ground realities. It has become painfully clear that most of the pledges made by the Prime Minister during his election campaign were nothing more than Hawabazi.
For the government's climb down on the land bill, Gandhi gave credit to her party's workers and Vice President Rahul Gandhi. She also promised more such campaigns on issues like labour reforms, women and child development, RTI and Manrega. The Congress president also had some sharp words for the deteriorating security situation in neighbourhood.
Security situation in our neighbourhood has deteriorated considerably. Our jawans, our civilians are being increasingly targeted. Instead of a coherent policy on Pakistan, this government can't seem to make up its mind on what it should do.
The Congress attack was countered strongly by HRD Minister Smriti Irani. Reacting to Sonia's Hawabazi remark, Irani said that the Prime Minister had turned Congress promises into reality.
आज कांग्रेस अध्यक्षा ने अपने ध्वस्त संगठन को मार्गदर्शित करते हुए अपनी विफल नीति, विफल संगठन के नेतृत्व की खामियों को छुपाने के लिए आदरणीय नरेंद्र भाई मोदी का सहारा लिया।
The extension of Sonia Gandhi's tenure comes amid speculation about Rahul Gandhi being elevated to the post. Sources say the 45-year-old vice president is focusing on reviving the party after the debacle of general elections last year. With inputs from Vishal Dahiya, Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, let's go across to our correspondent Vishal Dahiya, who got us that report. Vishal, as far as the churning in the Congress party, that has been put off for now, but Rahul Gandhi still calling the shots as far as the Congress's strategy is concerned. But Sonia Gandhi in one of the most sharp attacks on Prime Minister Narendra Modi ever since he came into power.
Well, yes, you're right. As far as the attack on Prime Minister Modi is concerned, then it is a very important part and parcel of any Congress meeting, and to talk about the highest decision-making body, that's the CWC, it was bound to happen. But you pointed out right, Rahul Gandhi may not yet become the president of the party, but then he is definitely calling the shots, and that was quite evident yesterday as well when he held a meeting with more than 1 dozen CLP leaders of the party, specifically from those states where the party is not in power. And a clear instruction, our sources say, which was given to these CLP leaders yesterday by the Congress Vice President, was that all of them will have to report directly to him, give him all the feedback, all the details of what exactly is happening in the states, what are the issues which can be highlighted. So clearly, as far as the ground is concerned, the ground level strategizing is concerned, that is something which Rahul Gandhi has been doing so far,
right.
has taken over rather so in the recent past, and that's
right.
exactly what was replicated during the land acquisition bill ordinance standoff between the government and the opposition as well. But his elevation to the post of party president, that is something which has been put off as of now. There is no time limit which has been given by the party leaders, but this is not happening at least this year.
All right, Vishal, also a quick note as far as the Congress is concerned now, especially in the aftermath of the general election rout that the Congress party had to face, there was a section of the party that said it's time for new blood to come in, for the new guard to rise, and there was also murmurs of discontent as far as Rahul Gandhi's equation with the old Congress stalwarts is concerned. How do you see the party developing from here on?
Well, there are two things, Ishan, out here. One is the very fact, and you pointed out that the chorus for having Rahul Gandhi as the topmost leader, as the party president, has been gaining momentum time and again. Though there are phases wherein this sort of chorus fades down, but then there are a sizable number of leaders within the party, and specifically from the youth brigade, those who are considered to be, around the same age group as Rahul Gandhi is, or somewhere around 50 years. That particular group has been vociferously asking for Rahul Gandhi to be made the party president. But this is something which has been, put on hold by the Congress president and the party's senior leadership time and again because of several factors. First, it was the Lok Sabha elections where it was a bit evident to the party that they might not do so well. But obviously, they were not hoping to do so badly as well. Apart from that, then there were several assembly elections, and now it seems that the assembly elections in Bihar, which are going to happen in another, a month or so. So the party's top leadership, as of now, doesn't seem to, try and give that picture wherein they make Rahul Gandhi the party president right now. The party goes into an election, doesn't perform well. The entire blame rests at the door of Rahul Gandhi. That is something which is going to be reflect very poorly on Rahul Gandhi and his leadership in the future. So obviously, time has been bought as of now. The organization elections have been, put on hold. They would be held maybe around 3 months later on, 6 months later on. But as far as decision-making is concerned, strategizing is concerned, that is something which Rahul Gandhi is handling in the party day-to-day affairs. All
right, the Congress not willing to bite the bullet as far as Rahul Gandhi's elevation to Congress president is concerned for now. Vishal Dahiya, thank you very much for coming in and helping us understand the politics within the Congress party a little better. For time now for all the other national news and updates in Nationwide. Ahmed Javed was appointed as the new Mumbai Commissioner of Police on Tuesday. Javed will replace Rakesh Maria, who has been promoted to DG Home Girls. The changes take place when Rakesh Maria was handling the Sheena Bora murder case probe. The new top cop assured that the probe will not be impacted under his supervision. A A special court in Delhi granted bail to former Minister of State for Coal Santosh Bagrodia. He was granted bail in connection with the coal scam pertaining to alleged irregularities in allocation of Bander coal block in Maharashtra. Earlier, the Supreme Court had refused him from exemption from personal appearance before the trial court. A polygraph test was conducted on suspected Lashkar-e-Taiba operative Shaukat Bhatt at the Central Forensic Laboratory in Delhi. The special court had allowed the NIA to conduct the test on Bhatt, arrested in connection with the Udhampur terror attack case. He's the second terrorist who's been caught alive during an attack in the valley in the last 1 month. Finance Minister Arun Jaitley today launched the e-version of the collected works of Mahatma Gandhi. The digital version can also be accessed on the internet by people around the world to use as a resource for reference. Jaitley described Gandhi's writing as a national treasure that has acquired global prominence. The Publications Division published the collected works of Mahatma Gandhi in book form, which is also available in Hindi as well. All right, time now for us to take a quick break. Coming up on the other side, all the international news and sports news. China hosts a grand rally to celebrate 50 years of Tibet's autonomy, but targets its spiritual leader, Dalai Lama. More on that on the other side.
Storm over interpreting sedition. Maharashtra government order defines it as criticism of a government representative. Rights violation fears arise. What is sedition? To whom and what should it apply? Watch The Big Picture at 6:30 p.m. on Rajya Sabha television.
Welcome back. You're watching the news at 6. Now, amid tensions on the border, India and Pakistan will be holding a 5-day DGMO talk in New Delhi tomorrow. But already a question mark is hanging over the Kashmir issue to be included in the talks. This ahead of the Modi government already facing flack from the opposition on its handling of the situation and the failure of the NSA talks.
Hours before the 5-day Indo-Pak DGMO talks, Pakistan's National Security Advisor Sartaj Aziz raised the Kashmir issue once again. Aziz claimed his government saw India's policy as anti-Pakistan. Meanwhile, Home Minister Rajnath Singh responded to similar comments made by Pakistani General Rahil Sharif on Monday.
अंतर्राष्ट्रीय जगत में भी भारत की प्रतिष्ठा बढ़ी है। यह सब सारा ट्रेंड जो दिखाई दे रहा है, एंटी नेशनल फोर्सेस को यह ट्रेंड रास नहीं आता है, तो भारत के संवेदनशील स्थानों को क्षति पहुंचाने में वह बाज नहीं आएंगे।
धमकी से रिश्ता सुधारना मुश्किल है, प्यार से बात करने से रिश्ता सुधरता है। इसलिए हम लोग इस तरह जो बातें करते हैं उसको जवाब देना मुनासिब नहीं समझता हूं।
Political parties back home say that tensions need to be reduced on the border for talks to work.
एक तो इनको अपनी बंदूकें बंद करनी चाहिए दोनों तरफ से, और ये धमकी देने का सिलसिला जो है ये बंद करना चाहिए, तब जाके माहौल में थोड़ी सी बेहतरी आएगी और हम बातचीत की तरफ चलना शुरू कर पाएंगे।
You went and hugged and kissed Nawaz Sharif in Ufa, and when the Pakistanis checkmated you that by obtaining equivalence on the question of terror and talks, they backed out of Ufa. Now you are saying the only unfinished business is POK. Do you have a policy towards Pakistan?
With the NSA-level talks turning out to be a non-starter last month, hopes over the fate of the peace process rest on the talks between Pakistani Rangers and the BSF. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Now, Europe's borders are near breaking point as they're invaded by people fleeing war and poverty in the Middle East and Africa. Greece, Hungary and Serbia are reporting tensions and clashes with the police with refugees at many places. The UN and the European Union are requesting member nations to help, but the question is for how long?
Greek island of Lesbos struggling to cope with refugees. Fresh clashes took place between the police and the migrants on Monday night. Extra staff and ships were brought in to deal with the 25,000 stranded migrants. A processing center was also set up to help migrants get to Athens.
Meanwhile, Hungary's border with Serbia also saw tension as the refugees broke through police lines to walk towards Budapest. Hungarian police used pepper spray on people trying to break the cordon.
No dream. I wish what I wish. I don't thinking about anything because this trip is I feel sad and feel sick and feel pain. Yeah.
Further south, long queues of migrants waited to pass from Macedonia into Serbia. The issue of migrants has spilled over to Denmark as well, but most refugees here intend to go to Sweden. European nations are scrambling to find answers. Some, like Hungary, are building fences. Germany, with its open border policy, says it can cope up with at least 5 lakh asylum seekers a year for several years.
В любом случае, наверное, справедливость требует того, чтобы страны, которые несут ответственность за развязывание конфликтов, несли бы и большую ответственность за оказание гуманитарной помощи их жертвам.
An estimated 340,000 asylum seekers landed in Europe so far this year. On Wednesday, European Commission will unveil proposals to distribute 160,000 refugees among the member states. But it is not clear if all the nations will agree to these proposals. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
On the 50th anniversary of the founding of Tibet, China reiterated its stand against the spiritual leader Dalai Lama. The Chinese government staged a mass rally to mark the event. The event lauded Tibet's economic successes under the Communist Party rule, but termed Dalai Lama a separatist and vowed to fight and crack down on all kinds of separatist activities. Top Chinese political advisor Yu Shengsheng led a central government delegation, including Chinese Vice Premier Liu Yangdong, along with Tibetan local authorities, to attend the ceremony held at the Potala Palace in Lhasa.
各族人民坚定不移地进行了反分裂斗争，不断挫败达赖集团和国际敌对势力的分裂破坏活动，要依法深入开展反分裂斗争，打击各类破坏活动，坚决维护祖国统一和西藏稳定。
Time now for some more international news and updates in Global Buzz. North and South Korea will hold reunions of families separated by the 1950 Korean War next month. It marks a significant process for the rivals who were till recently threatening each other with war. 100 from each country are expected to be reunited with their relatives at the Diamond Mountain Resort in North Korea. Saudi-led coalition jets targeted a Houthi-controlled military base in the Yarim in a province of Yemen. At least 12 people were killed and 25 wounded in the airstrikes. Witnesses said 3 airstrikes hit the military base, one strike damaged nearby buildings. British Prime Minister David Cameron revealed that 2 Britons plotting attacks with the Islamic State on British soil were killed in Syria. The government doesn't have any parliamentary mandate to take military action in Syria. The strike was carried out by a remotely piloted aircraft in August. 2 men were identified as Riyad Khan and Ruhul Amin. Gunmen in Karachi killed the driver of a prominent activist, Sabeen Mahmood, who was murdered in April. The victim, Gulab Abbas, was witness to the murder of Mahmood. Police said that they weren't sure if the killings are linked though. Some sports now, and South Africa's Kevin Anderson caused a major surprise in the men's singles at the US Open, reaching his first Grand Slam quarterfinal after an amazing victory against Britain's Andy Murray, this on day 8 of the US Open. Top seeds including Roger Federer, Stan Wawrinka and Simona Halep were the others to make it to the quarterfinal lineup. Here's more for you from Flushing Meadows.
Oaths hurled, rackets smashed. The longest match of the US Open took all of 4 hours and 18 minutes. During which Andy Murray counted 25 aces but couldn't stop South African Kevin Anderson from reaching his first Grand Slam quarterfinal. Anderson won 7-6, 6-3 6-7, 7-6.
Yeah, I'm a little lost for words right now. Obviously coming out here playing Andy, it's a very tough matchup, and I just managed to keep my composure throughout, and honestly played probably one of the best matches of my life. And obviously to get through to the quarterfinals for the first time here in New York feels just amazing.
Second seed Roger Federer had an easier time. Cutting down big serving American John Isner in straight sets, he beat Isner 7-6, 7-6, 7-5 to set up a last 8 clash against 12th seeded Frenchman Richard Gasquet.
I think actually it started with a good pickup by me because he chip and charged me or hit and charged me. I had to hit a tough pass, and from then on I served very well. Picked up his second serve, he gave me some looks, and had perfect timing on them. So obviously you got to get a little lucky. But 7-love is a very good score, obviously, against John. But as long as you win the breaker, it doesn't matter what the score was, actually.
French Open champion Stan Wawrinka made it a Swiss double by prevailing 6-4, 1-6, 6-3, 6-4 over Donald Young to reach the quarterfinals.
1-6, 6-3, 6-4.
In the women's draw, second seed Simona Halep overcome a thigh injury to dispatch big-hitting German Sabine Lisicki 6-7, 7-5, 6-2. Halep needed 2 hours and 38 minutes to reach her first US Open quarters.
Finally, I'm in quarterfinals here in US Open. I'm really happy that I could do it. It's unbelievable for me. It was like a crazy match today. She played unbelievable, and I was fighting till the end, and I did everything I could to win the match.
She will play two-time US Open finalist Victoria Azarenka next. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Time now for all the other sporting action in Sportsbeat. Thomas Müller scored twice and set up another goal as Germany beat Scotland 3-2 to move to the brink of qualifying for Euro 2016. Scotland were able to equalise twice, but the World Cup champions locked down after defence after Gunodong's 54th minute goal that gave Germany, that sealed the game for Germany. They've almost secured a top 2 finish in Group D with more than 2 matches left. India will take on Iran in a crucial World Cup qualifier in Bengaluru today. India comes to this game on the back of an embarrassing goalless draw against Nepal in Pune last week. Iran thrashed Guam 6-0 in their World Cup qualifier last week. India has never won a match against the Asian giant since 1959. Golfer Anirban Lahiri added another feather to his cap by becoming the first Indian to qualify for the prestigious President's Cup. Lahiri came through as one of the automatic qualifications for the international team, which will take on the United States in the biennial President's Cup in Korea. In the international team standings, the deadline for which ended on Monday, Lahiri finished 7th to make it to the team. Well, that's all from us. Goodbye.